Deafrowe with Deafrowe closed caption, and I'm back again with another review for this Saturday afternoon. And today's review is going to be on, as you can see on the screen here, Fist of the North Star, the live action movie from 1995, starring none other than, you guessed it, Gary Daniels, awesome badass dude, playing Kenshiro, Malcolm McDowell, playing Ryukin, Costas Mandalore, playing Lord Shin, Downtown Julie Brown playing Charlie, Dante Basco as Bat, if you don't know who that is, Rufio from Hook, that's who Dante Basco. Main other character that he played, I guess you could say, Clint Howard is in this a little bit for some odd reason, and then you don't ever see him again. And then you got Chris Penn as Jackal. The Tracy Walter as Paul McCarthy, but you only see him at the very beginning. So yeah, Fist of the North Star, a kick-ass live-action version of the anime Fist of the North Star that was done in 1995. It is at least halfway decent. But before I get started on this review, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You see the videos I post out every Saturday on different movies. I might post something extra here and there every now and again, but it's not very often. But this week's movie is Fist of the North Star, starring Gary Daniels as the main character, Kenshiro. And it's it's an apocalyptic adventure that centers around him trying to take down what essentially is a bad guy who used to be his friend. Let's just get right into this movie. Let's go. And you see here, Michael McDowell plays like his father, who is the Fist of the North Star, and he's taken out by Sin, or what they call him, Lord Shin. And according to the rules, like Michael McDowell's, like his character Ryukun is trying to explain to Shin, like, you were not allowed to fight each other. And he doesn't. He's like, I'm not here to fight, and he like basically shoots him with a gun. Something about like Shin is Southern Cross, and Ryukin is Fist of the North Star, and they're not allowed to fight each other. And they really don't explain too much of why they're not allowed to fight each other. It's just, that's just rules. Anyway, so he shoots him, kills him, of course. And then, of course, that sets up Kenshiro's character as, you think he's just seeking revenge for his father at the beginning of this movie, and then you realize that's not really what it's all about. But let's keep going, shall we? I mean, I've seen the anime, and this really, it follows some of it, but not, it's not like a very, there's no Clint Howard playing his character named Stalin, just riding around on a motorcycle shooting the shit out of everybody at the very beginning of the movie, and then you don't see him again ever again on the show. Not that I'm aware of. There's very dramatic areas in this movie I probably missed. Anyway, so they're part of the Southern Cross is what it's called, and they're like trying to take over certain areas of the wasteland and bring back civilization or whatever. And of course, Lord Shin being the one that's controlling all these thugs. The guy on the motorcycle right here that you see looking down at Dante Brasco's character, Bat, is what's his face? Chris Penn's character Jackal, and you kind of see a little bit of his backstory in this as well. Anyway, ends up knocking him out, and of course he's acting like he just, And of course the little girl here that's helping him up is blind. And then enter Kenshiro. He's coming into the outskirts of town in this little radio shack here, and that's where we see Paul McCarthy, which is played by Tracy Walter. And he's like basically seeking shelter because the rain is very acidic and toxic, and everybody, you have to seek shelter when. Anyway, so the next morning, let's see if I can get it good here. Yeah, you see like the rain's all bubbly and stuff right there, like it's toxic. And Kenshiro's just seeking shelter for the night till the rain passes or whatever. And he has like this nightmare. Anyway, the next morning, the Southern Cross thugs are there at McCarthy's place, the radio place, and they're ransacking it and basically gonna like mess with his wife and everything like that. And here's one of the thugs. Anyway, so Kenshiro just basically kicks the shit out of all of them. Try to get a little spot here, as you can see, right in the nuts. Try to get this one spot right here. Here, let's see if this works. It's like we don't, yeah, you don't give, we take, or whatever. Like this, it's kind of dumb. And of course, they're getting close to the door right here. He's laughing, and then this happens. And, right there, he's kicked in the face, and that whole shot right there shows you how they try to like make it a lot like the anime in the way that the wounds are dealt. In a lot of ways, I mean, you could say this is a lot like the aesthetic of it is a lot like in that they tried to imitate what the anime did. You could say it's a lot like what they tried to do with like One Piece on Netflix recently, which is a great show, by the way. So this is back in 1995, and it was directed by, let's see, Tony Randall. And I mean, it's a halfway decent anime adaptation, and the way they try to create the effects of what the anime showed in that way. And as far as storyline goes, I don't think it follows exactly, the storyline of the original content all that well. Let's see this, and then of course he does like that the move on him where he's like he does that move on him where he just like goes really fast on him and stuff. You can see a little bit here. Let's see if I can catch it. Yeah, right here. He's doing this number right here, and then like he does a little point to the head, and he turns away. He's like, "You're already dead." And then that's when his head starts to bubble, and as he's walking away, the head explodes. Kind of crazy. And then we cut to Lord Shin and this guy right here, and this guy used to be part of Southern Cross or whatever, and Lord Shin is like, there can only be so many people that know this type of martial arts or whatever. It's like, hey, I've allowed you to live this long, so now I want to take you out because there can't be more than so many of us or whatever. So they end up fighting, and of course Lord Shin here with the 90s. I'm not really understanding why they went with the like all the haircuts, Kenshiro as well, like a '90s country band. I mean, with the mullets. That is a crazy mullet right here, buddy. Anyway, and then of course he's got this girl that's kept away up in his high tower, I guess, the castle, whatever. He and Lord Shin has been using her likeness on all the posters and all this other stuff to basically use her like a propaganda for people to look up to. You know what I mean? And so that's where she kind of comes into place, and it ends up being Kenshiro's. I don't know if I'm not sure if it's his wife, girlfriend, whatever. I think it's his wife, but I'm not quite 100% on that. But he thinks she's dead. Anyway, and she thinks he's dead. But, and you'll see why later on. Anyway, he's making his way into the outskirts of the city where the Southern Cross monitor, and they're trying to take over. Anyway, so he meets the Bat and the blind girl. And he sees the blind girl for the first time, and he does some type of trick, his little move or whatever, and gives her sight back. But then she gains like extra sight from it as well, as you find out later, where she starts seeing stuff. And he's trying, and Bat is trying to get people in this little town to learn how to fight, so they can fight back against these Southern Cross folks, so they're not just taking their stuff all the time. Because the main thing they have is clean water. They have like a well in this area, so they have the clean water they need to barter with. But Black Cross is not really going to barter with anything. They're just going to take it, and so he's trying to get people to fight back, so they can't just take it. Anyway, and this is at this point she has like these visions now ever since her eyes have been fixed, and that's what that's all about right there. You see right here. Yeah, she's having visions of people talking to her, and it's basically the father of Kenshiro is talking through people to her. And then, like, he has this weird ass. I'm not really sure why they thought they had to put this in there, but then the father just comes up out of the ground out of the blue in mummy form, I guess you could say, and starts talking to him like, "You are the Fist of the North Star. You have to, basically, you are it." But he doesn't want to be Fist of the North Star, but yeah, pretty much has to own up to it. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this is very, this part here is kind of, there you go, there's Jackal, or Chris Penn's character, Jackal, and he has this little mesh thing over his head because you'll see towards the, and there's oh boy there, Clint Howard, aka Stalin, is his character, and they kidnap the kids and everything in that little town that has the water, because that old dude thought they were gonna barter. Of course they ain't gonna barter. They're just gonna take the water. And of course, Bat, he somehow escapes, and he finds Kenshiro and tells him what's going on, and they decide that, hey, we gotta bust them all out. And so that's what they kind of do. And this is where you finally see the backstory of Kenshiro and the girl that Lord Shin has been keeping up in his high tower or whatever. And as you see here, this is before the mullet times. And you see Chris Penn's character, Jackal, is not all messed up in the face either. And so yeah. And Kenshiro's mullet's not as long either. Anyway, they fight, and gets the upper hand somehow. And he pulls that move on Jackal where he does like the fast movement stuff, and it makes Jackal's head start to explode or whatever. Anyway, so he uses Southern Cross on Kenshiro right here, which he ain't supposed to, but he does it anyway. And he just about pokes holes in him everywhere on his body or whatever, just kind of like they do on the anime. Anyway, so yeah. And they supposedly like leave him for dead, but they realize he survived. And then we cut back to where all these people were kidnapped and they're waiting for Kenshiro to try to. And this one Southern Cross dude right here, this one to the right here. He's starting to like the people, and he doesn't really want to mess with them all that much. But Jackal, he's all about wanting to kill these folks. Anyway. Yeah, and then of course we see Jackal he ends up finding Bat. And kills Bat with a dagger to the gut or whatever. And then but Bat saves Kenshiro one more time by keeping Jackal from shooting him. And then, kind of like he did in Hook, he passes away in this movie as well. Yeah. It's so odd. Almost the exact same way. A sword versus dagger. Whatever. Alright, anyway. So yeah, he's like pissed off. I'm gonna go. He's like, I'm going after Lord Shin. So he's going straight to Lord Shin this time. And Lord Shin has Jackal take the girl and put her somewhere. Her name's Julia, but it's played by Sako Washi. I'm saying the name all messed up. Anyway, the character's name is Julia, and so they're going to take her and hide her somewhere while those two fight. Now, here's the thing about all the fight scenes in this movie and I love the fight scenes, and I love the effects that they try to create with all the blood splatter and everything and all that kind of thing. With make it look more like the anime and how that looks. The thing I don't like about these fight scenes though is a lot of the scenes, it looks like the damn camera is in the fight. Like they need to pull back a little bit so you can actually see. Like you see this scene right here, you can't see his legs. You see half his legs, and it's like, well, shit. If he's gonna go for a kick, I like to see how the whole move plays out or whatever. Instead, you're too close. That's just my opinion. That's the only downsides of some of the shots in this movie when they're fighting is it feels like you're way too close. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty freaking awesome. And at first, Kenshiro, gets the upper hand on him when they start fighting here. Pretty easily, too. But then, I forget, he does something, and, he's messing with his head about Julia being alive or dead or something, and then that's when he gets the upper hand on Kenshiro. And he starts to kick Kenshiro's ass or whatever. And there's just this whole part where he uses that move again on him, like right here. Let's see if I can get it real good. Boom. Alright, and when he does this is what I talk about with the anime stuff right here. If I can get it just right. Yeah, right here. Where you see the blood going everywhere. Yeah, with the slits in the arms and all that crap, and the blood just goes splattering everywhere and all that stuff. I mean, that's pretty cool shots. But like I said, throughout most of the fight scenes, see right here, you see what Gary Daniels is doing right here. But if you pull back, you can see the entire fight instead of just half of it. You know what I mean? I just don't understand. You're way too close. These fight scenes would be a lot better if you're if the camera would back off a little bit. Just, it seems like the cameraman is in the fight with the two guys, which is odd. I still think Gary Daniels does a great job and everything like that, but this movie probably would have been 5, 10 times better if you could see the action a lot better. Especially some of the moves that Gary Daniels was pulling off in this damn thing. I mean, it's like there's one whole scene where he's up against the tree and he does like this leg split. They do that as like not so up close, and you get to see the whole thing, and it looks freaking awesome. But then when you get to the fight scene like this, when they zoom in so much, it's you can't hardly see anything. Makes it hard to see. Keep track of what somebody's actually doing. Anyway, yeah, he does that move on him. Anyway, something lights a spark in Kenshiro, and he's able to get back up and resume the fight. So like this shot here, you see, she gets the, yeah, Julia. She's been fighting with Jackal this whole time because he's been trying to keep her hidden, and she finally is able to grab those straps off his head and pull them off, and of course his head starts to explode like right here. Like I said, this is so much like the anime right here. There's all this part right here. They try to make it look like the anime as well, and it reminds me so much of what they're doing with like the One Piece series, like I said before. So I thought that was pretty cool. As you can see, like the head's about to burst, like that right there. And of course, you see this part, like you see his arms are moving and they're hitting, but you can't see what they're. I mean, you can't see what he's hitting because they're zoomed in so damn close right here. You can't, like, he's going fast and everything, but like. I would have loved to like be behind or like off. Like, why am I looking at it from this direction? That's why I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense. This, like, if they had moved the camera like a little bit to the right and maybe to the like Gary Daniels' left shoulder, looking towards the bad guy. Instead, we're looking at Gary Daniels and we're not seeing what his punches are doing. I mean, it just seems kind of odd the way this is shot. It's not like one of the reasons I like the other two Gary Daniels movies that I have reviewed already on here, White Tiger and Cold Harvest, two separate movies from two. I mean, one from the late 90s and one from the late 80s, but they're shot very well, and you see the entire fight choreography and everything like that, like you should see it. Whereas this is just like, man, it's hard on the eyes. Like, you have to really concentrate and try to see what he's doing. And if you don't follow it fast enough because you're zoomed in so much, it seems like it's moving twice as fast. I mean, I know the effect he was going for, like he was trying to make it look fast, but you can't. It gets to the point where you can't see it. So yeah, he pretty much like wins or whatever, as right here. Yeah, I'm trying to catch this one of those. Like this one, like turn the camera, go right a little bit so I can see from, I don't know, but this is a pretty cool shot anyway. Yeah, Gary Daniels does that, and he's all on one foot the entire time. He goes bam, 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 3 hits, 3 kicks, low, mid, high. I would have loved to see that shot at a different angle, so I could, that would have been awesome. Anyway, and of course, gets towards the end, he does what he has to do, and then he finds out Julia is alive and sees her at the front steps of the place, and because Lord Shin had been using her picture as like propaganda to keep people in control, everybody in front of the building that he was fixing to fight, once they see that she comes out with him and embraces him, they all like bow down to her or whatever. And then let's see, I'll get a good shot of that. See, like the pictures, like you see to his right here, they're all over the place. See if I can get a shot. And she finds him because he really did think she was dead because that's what Lord Shin kept telling him. It messing with his head, like he almost lost the fight. Anyway, trying to, like, they finally see each other and like, holy shit, you're alive. And then of course, he's happy, as you can tell there. But then, like, everybody, I'm trying to see if I can get a shot of everybody bowing down. Let's see it right here. So yeah, the husband, wife, whatever, and then all these people that were propagandized into believing she's the savior and all this stuff by Lord Shin bow down to her, and of course now, pretty much Southern Cross is in her control now. So, and Kenshiro has killed the bad guy Lord Shin. So, and that's pretty much the entirety of this movie. I mean, there's not really all that much to it. I mean, but like I said, I would give this a decent rating. It's not as good as the other two, in my opinion. They try to do the effects are awesome, in my opinion. Like the blood spurting and all that stuff that make it kind of look like the anime. The action's awesome. I just wish I could have seen it better. Like, I've seen other Gary Daniels movies. I know the dude can do the moves. I mean, the guy is phenomenal. I just wish I could have seen more of him and his moves in this movie. It's like they just were too close to him, and like the only time they really gave him any space to do stuff is when he was like not really fighting anybody. He was just kind of doing his exercise stuff, Odd, but anyway, yeah, that's my review. I mean, I give this a 2 star. It's not a 1 star crap fest, but I have to leave it down in 2 star decent, rating for me, just because the fighting scenes could have been shot better. That's not saying that the fighting scenes were not good. It's just the way they were shot on film looks like you could have seen a lot more, and it would have been a lot more impressive have you caught it at a certain or different angle. I feel like you're missing out, when you're watching these fight scenes. So that's why I put it kind of in the decent. Like, if you could see these fight scenes, I'm pretty like if you could see them better than what you were seeing them as, this movie would probably been like close to like a 3.5 star, to be honest with you, if you could just see it better. But it just didn't come out that way. But anyway, that's my review, and that is me, Deafrowe, and I'll catch you out on the edge of another review. I am out.